Welcome back to Northern Tales, where stories of love, loss, and resilience from Northern Nigeria come alive. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the journey. When we last left Halima, she had taken her sons from the shadows of cruelty into a place of their own. A one-bedroom flat, humbled but filled with peace, became the ground where she began again. Her cooking business had grown steadily. Trays of chin-chin, sobo, buns, and steaming bowls of soup carried her name from offices to family homes. What started as survival was slowly becoming dignity. Neighbors no longer whispered about the widow in the boys' quarters. Now they spoke of the woman who worked hard and walked tall. Her children, too, had begun to blossom. Abu was still mischievous but clever, always quick with a joke. Aliyu, now 17 and in SS2, was different. Serious, thoughtful, and bright beyond his years. He had discovered a gift with computers, a talent that his teachers praised and encouraged. But with talent came longing. For months, he had asked his mother for a computer. Each time she shook her head gently. Aliyu, she would say, if it was within my hands, I would give you the world, but right now I cannot. One evening, frustration finally broke his calm. He turned to her and said, his voice sharper than she had ever heard, Mama, why? Why can't we call Senator Sarki? Didn't you hear him say we should call if we need anything? Why are you holding me back? For the first time, anger flashed between mother and son, not from hate, but from the deep ache of dreams meeting reality. Aliyu's apology came later, his voice low, regret in his eyes. Halima listened, and after a long silence, she sighed. I will think about it, she said softly. Perhaps one day I will speak to your uncle. But, my son, not everything we need must come from his hands. Some things we must earn, even if slowly. Aliyu nodded, but impatience still burned quietly in him. So when news spread that Senator Selki was back in town, Aliyu made a choice of his own. One evening, he slipped away, joined the crowd after Maghrib prayer in the mosque near Senator's house, and after the prayers, he walked up to him with trembling courage. Uncle, he said, bowing his head, I need a laptop for school. My teachers say I am gifted with computers. Please help me. The senator studied the boy, his nephew from his wife, tall and earnest. He smiled gently and laid a hand on Aliyu's shoulder. A laptop you shall have, my boy. Give me a week. Inshallah, I will get one for you from Abuja. True to his words, 7 days later, Halima's phone rang. It was Senator Seriki. Halima, he said warmly, the laptop has been purchased. Bilkis will bring it over this weekend. Halima froze. Her heart sank. When she hung up the phone, fury spilled out. She turned to her son, her voice trembling. Aliyu, what have you done? The boy looked down, guilt washing over him. But Halima did not let it rest. Listen to me, my son, she said, her tone firm but laced with love. Senator Selki has shown us more kindness than we could ever repay. Do not mistake his generosity for obligation. When people give you such an open door, you must not abuse it. You must keep it for the day when help is absolutely needed. Do you understand? Aliyu's lips quivered, but he stayed silent. I know you want this computer, she continued, softening. I was already saving to buy you a second-hand one. But what you did has now put me in a place I do not like. Bilkis already feels we take advantage of her husband, and now you have given her proof. My son, contentment is wealth. Do not let impatience shame you or me. Aliyu bowed his head, tears in his eyes. Halima reached for him and drew him close. You are bright, Aliyu. Your light will shine. But never forget, patience and gratitude are the pillars that carry a man further than any favor. That weekend, Halima and Aliyu walked to the big house to collect the laptop. Bilkisu was waiting in the front room, her eyes cold. She didn't hand it over quietly. She made a performance of it. Ah, so finally my sister, the gold digger, has come, she sneered. Always taking, always asking. Have you no shame, Halima? My husband gave you quarters to live in when you were nothing, fed you and your children, paid your rent, gave you money to start your puff-puff business. Is it not enough? Her voice rose sharp as a whip. Every time it is Senator Sarki this, Senator Sarki that. Do you think his pockets are bottomless? You and your children will finish him if you continue like this. Aliyu's face burned with shame. He opened his mouth to speak, but Halima touched his arm and silenced him. Bilkisu turned to her nephew. And you, boy, bold enough to run to my husband behind your mother's back. Shameless. Instead of studying, you learn to beg, just like her. You will drain people until nothing is left. With exaggerated flourish, Bilkisu pulled out a laptop bag, unzipped it, and dropped the computer on the table. The screen was cracked across the corner, lines bleeding into the display. Here, this is what you begged for. Next time, think twice before troubling us again. Aliyu stared at the damaged machine, his chest hollow. His uncle had promised a new laptop, but this, he looked at his mother, hoping she would speak. Halima's face was calm, too calm. Her silence was not weakness. It was strength, sharpened by survival. She stood, straightened her hijab, and looked at her sister only once. Aliyu, stand up, she said quietly. Without another word, she took her son's hand and walked out of the house, leaving Bilkisu's laughter echoing behind them. As soon as they stepped out of the compound, Halima pulled out her small phone, dialed Senator Sarki, and when he answered, her voice was warm, steady, and full of thanks. Ah, Senator Sarki, may Allah bless you. The laptop you sent will help Aliyu greatly with his studies. May Allah increase your wealth and keep you and your home in peace. We are deeply grateful. Then she handed the phone to her son. Aliyu, take the phone. Thank your uncle. Aliyu stammered, his heart still heavy. Thank you, sir. Jazakallah khair. I will study hard with it. The senator's voice was kind, unaware of what has just transpired. When the call ended, Aliyu turned to his mother in disbelief. Mama, why did you say that? Why did you thank him? That laptop was broken and Auntie insulted you so much. Halima placed a hand on his shoulder, her eyes calm but piercing. Listen carefully. Your aunt owes us nothing. Nobody is obliged to carry another person's burden. Just because people are kind, it does not mean we should take advantage of them. And when kindness comes with insult, swallow the insult but keep the lesson. Do not complain. Because at the end of it all, it is Allah who gives wealth and prestige, not your uncle, not me. Only Allah. So ask him and be patient when does he does not give immediately. That night, Aliyu could not sleep. The cracked screen haunted him, but the image of his mother standing with dignity, refusing to trade insult for insult, pressed heavier on his chest. At last he rose, tiptoed to her room and knelt by her bed. Mama, his whisper broke into sobs. I am sorry. I have caused you disgrace. I have brought insult to you because of my impatience. Please forgive me. Halima wiped his tears with the edge of her veil and drew him close. My son, she said softly, you are not responsible for anybody's behavior. What your aunt said is on her tongue, not on your head. Do not carry her words as your burden. Aliyu's tears flowed harder. But why didn't you tell uncle? Why didn't you report her? Halima looked at him with eyes that held both sorrow and strength. And then what, Aliyu? If I expose your aunt's cruelty and it causes a rift between them, how does that benefit anyone? Marriage is fragile. A word can shatter peace. Do you want to be the reason your uncle's home breaks? Aliyu shook his head quickly, guilt flooding him. Remember this always, my son. Your uncle was also a poor boy once. Allah is the one who raised him, just as he can raise you. Do not run after people's pockets. Ask Allah and wait. Patience may feel heavy today, but it will carry you further than you can imagine. Aliyu clung to her trembling, his tears soaking her lap. In that moment, he understood something deeper than any lesson or school, that dignity is not found in what you receive, but in how you endure. The next afternoon, Aliyu stopped by his mother's office. He expected the usual laughter and the smell of food trays being ordered, but instead he walked into chaos. Staff crowded around the office computer, voices rising, papers scattered. The secretary was near tears. All the invoices are gone. The system is frozen. Nothing will print. Halima looked worried. Her trace of orders were stuck in that system too. Aliyu stepped closer. What happened? One junior clerk shook his head. The whole network has crashed. The printer won't connect. The files are corrupted. The IT guy is in Abuja. We are finished. Aliyu leaned over the keyboard. His eyes flicked across the screen with a quiet confidence. The computer showed a looping error. Printer spooler service not running. A tangle of failed network requests clogged the system. He asked for a flash drive, copied out the most recent files, and began typing fast, commands nobody else understood. Within minutes, he restarted the printer spooler, flushed the DNS cache, reinstalled the printer drive, and recovered the corrupted invoices using hidden restore points. The printer came to life. Pages began to split out, all the missing invoices. Gasps filled the room. The manager, Alhaji Ibrahim, stared at him wide-eyed. Young man, what did you just do? Our IT contractor has been struggling with that problem for weeks. Aliyu smiled shyly. It was just the spooler stock, sir. The backups were still there, just hidden. The staff clapped, relief flooding the office. Halima's heart swelled with pride. For a moment, she saw not just her son, but a young man standing tall in his gift. Even cracked screens cannot dim true light. The printer still hummed when Alhaji Ibrahim turned to Aliyu, amazement plain on his face. Young man, he said slowly, how old are you? 17, sir. 17. The office fell quiet. Some exchanged glasses. Others nodded in respect. Do you know, Alhaji Ibrahim continued, our IT contractor has been paid more than once to fix this exact problem and failed. Yet he walked in here after school and in less than half an hour restored everything. He leaned back, smiling broadly. You have a gift, my son, a rare one. Halima shifted uneasily, pride wrestling with worry. Aliyu is still in school, she said softly. This is not his work. But Alhaji Ibrahim shook his head. Madam Halima, forgive me, but talent like this should not stay idle. I want your son to come here officially, weekends, after school hours. We will pay him something small, an internship if you like. Let him learn in a real office. In fact, we need him more than he needs us. Halima's heart, Halima's heart raced. He looked at Aliyu, whose eyes shone with excitement, then back at the manager. Alhaji, my son is preparing for his final exams. I do not want him distracted. Alhaji Ibrahim folded his hands. Madam, I promise, only weekends. Let him help us with systems, networks, backups. We will not overburden him. Please think of it as investment, not distraction. Aliyu clapped his hands together, almost pleading. Mama, please, I can do both. I won't let my studies suffer. Halima studied his eager face, then closed her eyes for a moment. She thought of the cracked laptop Blikisu had thrown on the table, meant to shame them. She thought of her son kneeling at her bedside, asking for forgiveness. And now here he stood, his gift, turning insult into honor. Finally, she nodded. Very well. But listen to me, Aliyu. If I see your grace drop, even one mark, this ends. Do you hear me? Yes, Mama, he said quickly, his voice trembling with relief. And so Aliyu began. Weekends saw him at the office, quiet but steady, learning more than any textbook could teach. Within a month, his work became undeniable. Profits rose as invoices flowed, systems ran smoothly, and data once thought lost was recovered. One Saturday, Alhaji Ibrahim called him into his office. Young man, he said with a grin, we cannot keep making you borrow these old machines. From today, this is yours. He just gestured to a desk where a brand new computer gleamed fresh from his box. Aliyu froze, his fingers trembled as he touched the smooth surface. It was his, not borrowed, not broken, not begged for, but earned. The staff gathered, clapping. Some called out, "Well done, Aliyu." Others said, "You are making us proud." Halima, standing by the doorway, felt tears prick her eyes. Not tears of sorrow this time, but of vindication. She remembered Bilkisu's scorn. The cracked screen meant as humiliation, and now Allah had written a better story. That evening at home, she sat with her son. "Aliyu," she said gently, "do you see now? The computer your aunt gave with insult, it was not meant for you. But with patience and hard work, Allah has brought you one of your own, one that came with respect, not shame." Aliyu lowered his head, his voice thick. "Mama, you were right. Patience is heavy, but it carries a man far." She smiled. Remember, remember this always. Wealth given with insult is a chain. Wealth earned with dignity is a key. Never forget the difference. Aliyu nodded and her words sank deep into his heart. Months rolled by. He sat for his SSC and JAMB examination. His mind sharpened with both study and by his work at the office. When the result came, he had passed with flying colors. The day he brought the slip home, Alhaji Ibrahim himself came to visit. Sitting in Halima's modest parlor, he held the paper in his hands. "This boy," he said proudly, "must not stop here, Madam Halima. On behalf of our company, we want to sponsor Aliyu to university. Let him study computer science at Modibo Adoma University. His future is bright, and we are honored to be part of it." Halima pressed a hand to her chest. Gratitude swelled in her throat, but she held it back with dignity. "Alhaji, may Allah bless you and your company," she said softly. "I raised my son with nothing but hope. You have turned that hope into a path." From that day forward, Ali became not just Halima's son, but the pride of the office. Alhaji Ibrahim and the staff greeted Halima with newfound respect whenever she came by. They no longer saw just the woman selling trays of puff or the cleaner in their office. They saw the mother who had raised a young man of value. And Halima, watching her son prepare for university, knew the truth of her own words. Patience had carried them further than favor ever could. Aliyu's journeys had come full circle, from a cracked screen handed with insults to a brand new computer earned with sweat and respect. His admission into Modibo Adama University was not just his triumph, but Halima's vindication. As mother and son sat quietly that evening, the call to Maghrib prayer drifting through the window, Halima whispered, "Do you see Aliyu? Patience does open doors no man can close, and every insult we swallowed has become a stepping stone." Aliyu nodded, his chest swelling with both pride and humility. But far across town, in the senator's mansion, another story was unfolding. Senator Serki had been unwell for weeks, his once booming laughter replaced with a troubling cough. Bilkisu, dressed in her finest lace, brushed it aside whenever the household whispered. On a quiet Friday night, as he prepared for Maghrib prayer, the next, Senator Sarki collapsed in his study. The compound was thrown into chaos. By dawn, the news had spread. Senator Sarki was gone, and his death, the tides were about to turn, with Bilkisu, Halima, and for the family caught between them. Stay with us in the next episode of Northern Tales, where love, loss, and resilience continue to shape destinies in ways no one can predict. Don't forget to like and subscribe.